Hello everybody, this is Danny from Deep South Homestead on living off the land. We want to talk today a little bit about Muscadines, Scuppernongs, Possum Grapes, Fox Grapes. They're all different. They look different. These here are what are Bullises. Some people in the South call them Bullises. Here in the South, these grow wild up in the trees here. If you can look up in the tops of these trees up here, all these trees are covered up with these old Bullis vines here in the woods. These are wild. They don't ever get very big, maybe the size of your fingernail. Like my fingernail there is about as big as they'll ever get. And you can see there's already little green ones on here. These grow in the woods everywhere. Now the leaf is a serrated edge leaf. It usually has 3 main points on it that I've been able to figure out. When they're smaller, the older they get more main points on them. But they, as a rule, I have found that they have 3 main points sticking out on them, some smaller ones in between. The problem here is because of these right here, we cannot plant true seedless grapes because these are everywhere. I mean, I don't care where you look on our land, these things are coming up just literally everywhere. And there's no stopping them. You can push and clear the land. You can take a root rake and go through it, whatever you want. And in a matter of a few months, they're starting to pop back up because all it takes is a little tiny piece of a root and you come back. But these are what prevents us from having seedless grapes here where we live at. Now this is a wild Muscadine, or some people call it a Bullis here in the South. Now we're going to go take a look at the what we call possum grapes or fox grapes. Okay, where we're at here now, we have what's called a possum grape or a fox grape that has come up on a place here. They grow in the woods here everywhere. They have a leaf that resembles this right here, as you can see. Now these will grow in tags just like regular grapes do, the seedless grapes that you see out in the vineyards and stuff. And they call them possum grapes and fox grapes because they're little tiny, they're just little grapes. They're not about the size of your fingernail. They're kind of small. And foxes and possums and stuff like that, you'll see them in the vines all over the place. Now this is a relatively young vine. I had done some pushing and clearing in here. And when I came in and bush hogged, I noticed this one was coming back up, so I left it. And I didn't bush hog around it here just yet. Because I'm going to try to come in here with a trellis and trellis this thing up. So we're going to, you know, now that you see this in here, you can tell it has a definitely different leaf on it. Very lobed looking leaf, anywhere between 3 and 5 lobes per leaf. Now some of the leaves when they're young will start out round like this and almost look like the muscadine. And they do have the 3 main points like I was talking about. But as they age, you see it's on the same vine. As they age, they begin to form the leaf like this right here. So, a little bit about that. And the tags are not usually but about this big. They're little small tags. Good for making jellies and jams, but not really anything else, in my opinion. So I want to take now, I want to actually go back and show you one of the muscadine or the Bullis vines on how big they get here once they've been in the woods. Now we have some that's been here for 30 or 40 years just growing in the woods. And I want to show you the size of these vines growing up in these trees.
You had to take a break, didn't you?
I had to. We've seen some huckleberries. And they are so sweet, these things. Man, they're sweet. Man. Okay, back to the video. Guys, here is a wild muscadine or a Bullis vine. This one here has probably been here for, I don't know, probably 20 or 30 years. It's right next to our cabin in one of our trees here. We are not going to take it out. This thing grows all the way up into the tops of this giant oak here. And the birds, the possums, the squirrels, all that love to eat off of these things. I mean, it grows slam up into the way top, way up yonder, like 60 to 80 feet up yonder in the top of this tree. And we'll leave it and let it grow, because that's what it does naturally. You can see a smaller one here coming on right here. It's growed all up in and goes, they just wrap around and go up into these trees. As you can see there, these things just twist and go all up in there everywhere. The wildlife literally loves them. Now, we'll not get any benefit from it, but the wildlife sure does get a lot of benefit from this. It keeps them from eating our stuff. They've got plenty of stuff in the woods to eat, so they don't eat our stuff. Okay, guys, this in here is a Tame Muscadine. Now, it's not a grafted variety or anything like that. It's just a tame one. This one's probably 30-something years old that I've had here. There's lots of little tags of muscadines coming on in here, as you can see. They grow in clusters. They resemble the wild ones a whole lot. The leaves still have the main 1, 2, 3 here, but they're more defined around the edges. I mean, they're almost identical. It's very hard to tell them apart other than the size of the muscadines and the fact that these have been brought into captivity and have been tamed down. These get a lot larger. These will get up to the size of a nickel. Occasionally, if you fertilize them and water them real heavy, they'll get as big as a quarter, unlike the ones that's in the woods. Now, the one we have here, this one's probably 30 years old. We got mint growing all underneath it here because we have a problem with mice. The mice want to come up and eat the muscadines when they get ready. And we know that we've heard that mice don't like mint, so we covered it up with mint underneath here. And we're going to see this year if that actually makes a difference, because we like our muscadine juice to drink. So it's amazing that how many you can get off of this one vine. This vine is probably 16 to 18 feet long, and we can get upwards of 100 pounds of muscadines off of this one vine easy, and squeeze out several gallons of juice that we can put in the freezer and drink fresh all during the winter months for breakfast. Instead of having to drink orange juice or something like that, we can drink the fruit of the vine, which is what's intended for us to have anyway. So from here, we're going to go over and we're going to look at what's called a bronze Scuppernong, which is a grafted variety. Okay, guys, these are the bronze Scuppernong. Now, when you look at them, the leaf, once again, looks identical to the wild muscadine or the tame muscadine. It looks identical. This is a grafted variety. You can see the Scuppernongs as they come on here. Now, this one is the bronze one. The one that we just talked about previously was the purple ones. The purple ones make a pinkish red colored juice that we drink during the winter months, as I mentioned. And this one makes a perfectly clear juice. It almost looks like water. It's so clear once we get it refined and filtered. But this one, these can get anywhere from the size of a quarter up to the size of a 50-cent piece if they're fertilized and heavy, watered real heavy. You can see they're already starting to form up in here. And then we have more young ones. This is because of the freeze this year, guys. We had a late freeze that knocked off a lot of our stuff, and these vines are trying to recover from that. And it's looking like we're going to have almost like two different crops on it. As you can see, we try to maintain them to where there's just 2 vines running down the fence row here. We tried 3, but the one at the bottom just wasn't working out. So we picked them up and only doing the top 2 up here now. We've had a problem. 2 of our posts have rotted off down here. We got to fix that. But this is the old original part of the vine here. And you can see it's loaded a lot heavier than those new vines down there are. Those vines down there are only 2 years old. This vine here is probably 6 to 8 years old. And it's doing a whole lot better. A lot more muscadines on this. We just got to get these posts replaced and get our arbor back up. So guys, fox grapes, muscadines, bullises, scuppernongs, a lot of ways they're all in one the same, and in a lot of ways they're everyone different. Regardless of which one they are, they're very nutritious, very healthy. The purple ones are loaded with more anthocyanins than these are. They're loaded with flavonoids and all these different things that your body really craves and needs. So guys, I encourage you, if you love the big ones, plant the Scuppernongs, because they're the tame, grafted varieties. If you just like those that just grow wild, plant your muscadines. I mean, the muscadines now, if they're fertilized with water, they can get as big as the Scuppernongs can. It doesn't matter color. The color's up to you. You can get them in purple. You can get them in clear, bronze, whatever color you want. All depends on the variety. I highly recommend these for a homestead because of the nutritional value in them. They make the best pies. They make the best jelly. They make the best drinks. So guys, I hope this is, it's not anything in depth, but it's just letting you know that all three of them can be on the same homestead and yet be different. But yet when you have the Scuppernongs, the muscadines, or bullises, or fox grapes, you can forget the seedless grapes because they will cross-pollinate, and the seedless ones will have seeds in them. So something to keep in mind if you're wondering why your seedless grapes have seeds in them. So if you live in the South, this is the way to go, guys. Thank you from Deep South Homestead.